Right.
Dennis Montgomery,
Yes, sir.
your career has been mostly around Berkeley for the past 25 years.
Yes, it has.
And you are known as the most wonderful Hammond Organ player.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
what is the difference between the education of playing in church compared to the music outside of the church? Jazz is jazz, blues is blues, but there must be a difference.
The difference is more of a secular connotation to the music that's outside of the church. You know, even though that it was definitely influenced. You know, the secular music was influenced from church music.
Church music,
yes,
right.
Especially when you go back to the Negro spiritual.
Right.
You know, so that's where we get most of our blues. You know, and all of the things that are associated with blues really is descended from the spiritual itself.
And your musical education, I mean, whatever you play, if you're playing in church or
Yes.
in a big band, you learn by doing, and
Yes.
you develop something.
Right.
Does it differ a lot between the church and what happened to the beginning of course, Negro spirituals,
yeah.
and the blues and everything that has to do with comes from the same source?
Yeah, it actually does.
But still, it must be something completely different.
Yeah, well, I mean, the difference is, when you talk about music outside of the church, you're mainly talking about rhythm and blues, country, rock and pop and metal, But even though it is different in the physical sense, in the spiritual realm, that really presents the difference as far as, the music outside the church and the music in the church. Music in the church is more spirited, or should I say more spiritual, giving praise and honor to God. The music outside of church has a spirit, but it's a different type of spirit.
Right.
People would say a worldly spirit, mainly.
But if you would have your own school, how would you go about it? Would you keep to the tradition of the church music, or how can young people develop?
I would love to keep it strictly to the tradition of the church music, but being an educator, I have to take a more versatile approach, and be more inclusive, because my job at Berkeley is to educate. Even though I'm, the designer of the gospel curriculum at Berkeley, but I teach more than just gospel classes. I have R&B classes, some pop classes, and each of those have their own separate character, So that's, as an educator, I would still be more inclusive, but if I had my personal way, he could keep it strictly to the church. Yeah, if I had my own personal way.
Well, I hope that whatever your plans are, that they'll come true.
I hope so too.
Yes, and it has been a pleasure talking to you.
Well, thank you so much, Peter.
Thank you.
Excellent, excellent.